All right, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a lily pad with a nice flower on top, like that. So I'll set the example to the side so you can still see it. So we are going to be getting 2 balls of clay. One will be bigger than the other. The smaller one is for the flower, the bigger one is for the lily pad. And we'll be using 2 rulers and a roller, like a pizza roller, if you've ever seen one of those before. And then we will just need a sharper needle tool as well, and then just a cup of water. So when we are going to take the big ball first, the big sphere, and we are going to place that in the center of each ruler. And when you're thinking about how to space it out properly, you could look at one of your glue sticks. So as you can see, that is perfectly how long the glue stick is. So we could put that to the side and put the big sphere in the center. And then since it's harder to roll out with a sphere, you want to take the palm of your hand and just press down a couple times, like 2 or 3 times, to get it more flat like that. And then you want to take the roller and we want to roll in one direction. So we're going to roll forward all the way and then lift up and bring it back. Forward, bring it back, forward, and then bring it back until it's not going any flatter because of the rulers. So once we have that, we want to set the rulers aside. We don't need those anymore. We want to take our needle tool and we want to cut out a circle shape. So the circle does not have to be perfect either. The lily pads aren't perfect circles. So we want to take this and hold down with one hand and just cut out a circle shape. Kind of like that. And then we could take the excess clay and get rid of that. So we are left with a circle. So as you could see, the edges are a little wonky and have weird kind of stray pieces of clay sticking up. So what you want to do is take just the tip of your finger and you just want to rub towards the center of the clay. And it'll give it a smoother edge. So once we do that, the only thing we are going to do with the lily pad for now until we move on to the flowers, take our needle tool and we want to cut out a triangle shape on one of the sides to give it the lily pad cutout. So when you're thinking of this, if you think of it as a pizza pie, you want to cut out one slice of pizza, but you don't want to cut all the way to the middle. So we can make a dot in the middle to know where the center is. And then we could pick out any spot. So we just want to cut out a little triangle like that. And then once you have that cut out, we can carefully remove that, giving us the lily pad shape. And we could take our fingers and smooth out that just like we did around the circle. And once that is done, we could set this aside for now. We will come back to it. We're going to take our smaller ball of clay and we want to pinch off 5 or 6 pieces. So we're going to take our fingers and just pinch off a tiny little piece like that. And we want to set them each to the side. And don't worry about the exact sizes. They do not all have to be the same, just similar. And then you're going to have a decent amount of clay left over. We could set that to the side. We won't need it anymore. So once we have these weird pieces, we could take our hands and we could roll them back into spheres, kind of like that. You want to do that with all of the pieces you have. When you're thinking about the size of them as well, you can think of either marbles or a smaller coin, like a penny size would be nice. So once we have all 5 or 6 of these done, we want to think back to when we flattened out our lily pad in the beginning with our palm. These are just smaller. So we could take each one and take our palm and just flatten that out until we get a flatter circle shape. We want to do that with all of the ones we have. And you can see it's about the size of a penny. I'm going to do that for each one. Now, once that is done, we want to stack them together. So we don't want to stack them on top of each other, or that won't work, that won't create the flower. So we want to stack them kind of halfway, like that. So think about dominoes, like when they're falling, they kind of land like that on top of each other. So we want to lay out all of those on top of each other. Just like that. So it looks something like that. Now, once we have that done, we are going to roll or wrap it together. So think of something like a fruit roll-up. So instead of unrolling it, we want to re-roll it back up. So we want to take the lower part of the corner down here more, and we could keep our finger here or thumb just to hold down the other side to make it easier. And we want to slowly just start bringing that towards the center. And we want to keep grabbing the back. And we just want to keep rolling till we get to the end. Now, once we get to the end, it might look a little loose still like that. So we want to be careful when we're holding it so we don't squish it. But we want to look at the bottom and just pinch that all together to hold it better. Like that. And we could play with our petals at the top a little bit more. If we don't like exactly the way it looks, we could kind of move those around, bring them out or in, or twist them a little bit. So now that I have my flower, we could bring our lily pad back and we could set our flower down for now. And when we want to start scoring is what it's called. So basically what scoring is you want to pick a spot on your lily pad that you want your flower to be attached to. Now, if we just stick our flower on like this, it's not going to hold. So for scoring, think of it like tic-tac-toe. You want to go one direction first with a couple lines like that, and then you want to go the opposite direction over top. So you kind of create a tic-tac-toe like shape. And we want to do the same thing on the bottom of the flower. It'll be a little bit harder because it's not a flat surface completely, but that's okay. It does not have to be perfect. You just want to rough up the bottom like that a little bit. And then we're going to take water from our cup, dip our finger in it, and just put some water on the lily pad, the part that you scratched, and then a little bit on the end or the bottom of your flower. And then what you want to do is just press and twist a little bit. Don't press too hard, or you'll either smush your flower or you'll smush the lily pad. So you want to do that until it is secure. Now, be careful not to pick it up and flip it over. It's going to need time to dry and cure together. So we're going to set that down. And then the only thing we have to do left is just make the texture designs. So think of it as like branches of a tree. And you can pick any spot you would like. And we are just going to work around the flower. And you just want to press lightly and just drag a line and just make jaggy lines until you think that you have enough. Just like that. So once that is done, you have your lily pad and flower. And then once this dries, we will fire it in the kiln, and then we will add the color we would like.